Everyone please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. Hi, the judge had already reviewed most of the documents. Attorneys shuffled papers across their tables. The spectators sitting in the back row looked bored, convinced the outcome had already been decided. Across from me sat my ex-wife, Olivia. She looked confident. No, confident wasn't the right word. She looked victorious. For nearly 3 years, she had systematically dismantled every part of my life. She told mutual friends that I was dangerous. She convinced relatives that I was manipulative. She painted herself as a victim so convincingly that people who had known me for decades stopped returning my calls. And now, she was moments away from taking a massive portion of the company I had spent 10 years building from the ground up. Everything was going according to her plan. Or so she thought. My name is Ethan Reynolds. Years earlier, I started a freight and distribution business with one used delivery truck and a rented warehouse that barely stayed dry when it rained. The work was brutal. I worked weekends, holidays, and countless nights while everyone else slept. When success finally started arriving, I assumed my wife would celebrate with me. Instead, she grew resentful. At first, the criticism seemed harmless. She mocked my long hours. Then she mocked my ambitions. Eventually, she mocked me. No matter what milestone I reached, she found a way to make it feel insignificant. According to Olivia, there was always someone richer, smarter, or more successful. I ignored the comments for years. I told myself, every marriage goes through difficult seasons. I was wrong. The warning signs became impossible to miss. Phone calls ended when I entered the room. Passwords suddenly changed. Business trips became suspiciously frequent. Excuses stopped making sense. Then one evening, everything unraveled. I discovered evidence of an affair. Not through a dramatic confession. Not through a private investigator. A simple mistake exposed everything. She left her tablet unlocked on the kitchen counter. Messages filled the screen. Photos. Travel plans. Conversations that made it painfully clear she had been living a second life for months. When I confronted her, she didn't deny any of it. She didn't apologize. She didn't even seem embarrassed. Instead, she stared directly at me and said something I'll never forget. You should be grateful I stayed, as long as I did. A month later, she filed for divorce. Then the real nightmare began. The allegations arrived shortly afterward. She accused me of emotional abuse, financial intimidation, controlling behavior. The claims were outrageous, but that didn't matter. Rumors don't require evidence. They only require repetition. Before long, clients began asking uncomfortable questions. Business partners grew cautious. One investor withdrew from an expansion project worth nearly $1 million. The damage was immediate. Meanwhile, Olivia appeared to be thriving. She moved into a luxury penthouse with a wealthy entrepreneur named Victor Lang. Social media became her personal victory parade. Private flights, luxury resorts, designer wardrobes. Every photograph seemed designed to send the same message. She had won. I had lost. Then, nearly a year before the final hearing,